Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about the Shelby Gt500 and I want to talk about why the Ford missed the mark a little bit with this car. And this car obviously is developed and it's out there, and why does Ford not unveiling the specs of the car? How much is the weight, what is the torque, what is the horsepower rating, quarter mile times? Nothing. Ford does not show anything about this car. So let's dig in a little bit and figure out what's going on over here with this car. So what is it? How much horsepower does it make? This is what Ford says.
It delivers more than 700 horsepower.
It says it delivers more than 700 horsepower. Is it more than a Hellcat? Is it more than a Red Eye? How much? 700 horsepower. Let's find out. So a few months back there was a document that leaked from Ford and shows all the specs on the cars. I know what you're gonna say, why you even bringing this up? We already went through, we see the document and everybody's saying that it's fake. Well, maybe it's not so fake. Well, I have a little reason to believe that it's not so fake. And I'm gonna give you a reason why did the Ford still postpone the numbers of the Shelby Gt500. So stay with me please. So looking at these documents, there is confirmed that this car have a 5.2 liter supercharged V8. Moving on to the right, you see the car have a 720 horsepower at 7,500 RPM, but that nowadays, right now, seems a little bit on the low side. There is barely like a 3 more horsepower than the Hellcat that is coming out, and much less than a Hellcat Red Eye that is gonna come out. And looking at here on the left, it says got a 650 foot-pounds of torque at 4,500 RPM. Well, like I said, maybe this number doesn't seem there like a believable because we were expecting a much bigger number from the car. But one thing that is believable in this document is 7,500 RPMs. There is in fact the red line of this Shelby Gt500. And if you look on the other side, you see that axle ratio on this car, it's a 7.37. And also if you look at it, the leaked brochure that is came out the day before the Gt500 was unveiled, and actually says there is a 373 rear axle ratio. So that metric is also correct from that leaked document. But then also if you're looking at the document, it indicates that Shelby Gt500 had a carbon fiber drive shaft. And if you also look at the leaked brochure that came out a few days ago, it also confirmed that this car have a carbon fiber drive shaft. So what else this document can prove that this is actually real? So looking at the top speed of the vehicle, 190 miles an hour, which seems kind of low for the car that have such a big horsepower rating. But there is other factor you guys gotta consider. Ford is saying that this car has the most downforce than any other Mustang Ford has ever produced. So 190 miles an hour top speed doesn't look that is fake. Looks like could be real. Also in this document you can see that car weighs 4,250 pounds, which is a little bit more than the previous generation Gt350, which I believe is around 3,800 pounds. I might be wrong, but correct me on that. Considering all of this that I said, pulling out from that document, this document is very believable that it was true on the first place. So if you think about if this car really originally had 720 horsepower, 650 foot-pounds of torque, and it weighs 4,225 pounds, that is not very good. That will not hold up very well with the competition. Why does Ford not release the numbers now at the auto show? This is what I believe is happening. I think Ford trying to tweak out the horsepower and the torque a little bit of this car, so it's gonna be a little bit more competitive. So when the Dodge unveiled the red eye Hellcat, I think Dodge caught Ford by surprise. Even the regular Hellcat now have 717 horsepower, and I don't think Ford saw this coming. And now they try to hold the number figure back. They trying to figure it out how to raise the horsepower a little bit, so their car gonna be a little bit more competitive to Dodge. So if the Ford left it alone the way it was, in my opinion, looking at those numbers, 720 horsepower, 650 torque, weighing almost 4,300 pounds, that car probably would have been a little bit faster than a regular Hellcat, but would have been slower than a red eye. So this is why Ford is taking so long to reveal those numbers to the public. I think they trying to figure it out how to raise the horsepower a little bit and enhance the performance of the car, so it's gonna come out on the top. So the really this surprising me is how long does it take for Ford to develop this car? And the numbers are still not available to the public. I mean, what's going on at Ford, you know? So they've been developing this car for like, what, 5 years? And they still can get their shit together to release it out there? It's hilarious. I mean, think about in past 5 years. Now, Ford just made this car, and it seems like by the numbers they're leaked out and they're saying it's gonna be around 700 plus horsepower, and looking at all of this number, the car seems like it's gonna run what, 1050s, 1060s. Well, that's not exciting. I mean, 5 years ago Dodge revealed the car that had a 700 plus horsepower and ran less than 10 seconds on a quarter mile, you know. Here they are 5 years later, and who they gonna impress, you know? It's old news. You got Demon, it's running 9 seconds, 840 horsepower. I mean, Ford is a little bit too late with this car in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying for 1 second that this car is not gonna be a good car, nice car, fun car, but considering the numbers, it's not like, you remember back in the day when Chrysler unveiled the Hellcat? Come on everybody, our eyes was this fucking big and looking at the, oh my god, 10 seconds, oh my god, 700 horsepower, look at it roasting these tires, look at it running quarter miles, put a drag slicks and run a 1080s on quarter mile. 5 years later, Ford, really? Come on, you can do better than that. So let me get this straight. Dodge had the Hellcat, original Hellcat Charger Hellcat, then they got the Demon, then they got the red eye, then they got the white body. So they got a 5 performance cars with over 700 horsepower and running 10 seconds, and Ford is taking 5 years to develop this car and they can still get their shit together to release it out there. It's hilarious. So if it's taking this long, I mean, when it comes out and they release the final numbers, so it better this car beat the competition, otherwise in my opinion it's gonna be big failure. So like I said, let's not jump into the conclusion until they reveal all of those numbers, horsepower and torque. Let's not judge how fast it's gonna be and whether it's gonna crush the competition or not. Let's give them a chance to do what they do. So there is one more thing I like to point out. So there is the 700 plus horsepower number. If you look back into the 2013 Mustang Shelby Gt500, Ford said that car will make over 650 horsepower, and the car ended up making 662. And if you look at the Shelby Gt350, Ford said it's gonna make over 500 horsepower, ended up making 526. Okay guys, let's conclude my argument. So when the Ford is saying this car gonna make a 700 and plus horsepower, I don't think it's gonna be 760, or else Ford would say the car make 750 plus. My opinion, this car gonna make anywhere from 725 to 750. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, but I really don't believe that this car gonna make any more than 750 horsepower, and the car gonna be running anywhere from 1050s to 1070s on a quarter mile. That being said, comment down below, let me know what you think about it. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you soon with another video. Have a good one. Bye. Bam.